Are you not getting enough traffic to your website? You're not getting enough fans and eyes on your content and your music? We're talking about ways you can get more traffic to your website today on the podcast. We'll see you on the inside. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Songwriters-Planner podcast. I really appreciate you guys swinging by today. We are starting the year off right, 2019. This is the next couple episodes podcast episodes into my podcast, and I'm having a great year so far, which I'm very thankful for. And again, I just thank you guys for swinging by today. I love doing these podcasts, and I'm really happy that I've been able to keep up with them. And I've also noticed that you folks have been checking them out on Spotify and iTunes, as well as going to my YouTube channel to listen to them. So thank you. I really appreciate it. I try to make these podcasts as meaningful and as valuable as possible, because there's just so many things that we have to deal with as artists out there today. I shouldn't say deal with. I think there's a lot of opportunities that we have now as artists to create something of our own with our music. So hopefully I get the chance to talk and get to these issues one by one. And today's issue I'm really excited about as well. But I also wanted to point out too that if you are listening on podcast and you can't see me, that's quite all right. I am wearing my Music Love shirt designs as well as hat. And I kind of wanted to offer something a little bit different, but also that went in line with people's passion for music as I have, and hopefully you do too. Just a little nod to say how much you love music. And if you really are interested in checking out the logo designs and the hats and I don't have the shirts up yet, but the hats I will have on my website. You can check that out at songwriters-planner.com/shop, where the planner, lyric book, and hats are now available. So thanks for checking that out, you guys. Appreciate it. Okay. I like to keep the sales pitches to a bare minimum because we're not here to listen to sales pitches. We are here to get some great podcast content out. And today's topic, I want to jump right into it. Okay, we're talking about websites, your own artist website, your www.yourname, your band name, or your artist name, or whatever you have set up.com. We're talking about how to get people to your website. Okay, now, if you're like me and if you're like most artists, you don't like looking at numbers. You don't like seeing what's actually going on. And I sometimes hate doing that because it's a big truth that we kind of like to avoid sometimes. But do you know how many people or how much traffic you're actually getting to your website on a daily basis? If you have one. And I hope you have one because it's super important to have your own website. But if you do have one, do you know exactly how much traffic you're getting to your website? Now, it's really crucial to know how many people are actually seeing what you're putting up, because when you have that, you have numbers in front of you. You can see what works and what's not working on your website. I think it's really easy to assume that people are just coming to your website every day and checking out your content and stuff like that. But I think you would be surprised as to how little traffic can be to your website these days, especially with the fact that everybody goes to social media first to find out what's going on with pretty much anything. And that includes to find out what's going on with you as an artist in your band. We'll save it for another podcast, and I also have a podcast that I did earlier last year about why is your website still relevant? And of course, the answer is a big resounding yes, it is, because it is a home base for you and your art. It is a place that you can control the layout, the functionality, the exact content that you can put on there. Social media sites, they have a lot of policies in place where you can only do certain things. Now, of course, they're pretty flexible nowadays, but the reality is if you want a home base, someplace that you can rely on, so your fans can come and rely on you and rely on the content you put up, whether it be being able to sign up for a newsletter, whether being able to see all your videos or listen to all your music in one place. A website is crucial for that. And what we want to talk about today is how to get people to your website, because people like to stay on social media, but what you want to do is get them to come look at your exclusive content, your music, your blogs, your pictures, all that stuff. It's so important to have a place for that in today's game, especially with social media sites coming and going, policies changing. They control how many people see your content. So might want to think about that. Okay. So that's what we're going to talk about today. We were talking about getting eyes, getting ears to your home base. Now, I've tried many things over the years, and I've built websites myself. So I've been fortunate enough to see how much traffic actually comes in and what works and what doesn't. And I'm always surprised at the amount of traffic that either doesn't come to the website or does based on certain things that I do. So what we're going to talk about here right now is four things that you can do to make sure you get to maximize the potential of people coming to your website on a regular basis. Okay. So let's get into it. Number one, the very first thing is going to be the most obvious. But what you want to do is you want to share your website URL as often as possible. Okay. I know it may sound pretty basic in general, but when I say that, I bet you a lot of people don't know what your URL is if you don't tell them. Okay. You can't assume that they're just going to know where to come to find you. So when I say share your URL often on 80% of your social media posts, and I hope that you're posting at least every day, put at the bottom www.yourartistsite.com. Just put it as a tag, like it's a hashtag. Just put it on every social media post. So then when people see your post, they can see, oh, so-and-so's got a website. Let's click on it. It would surprise you how much of a difference that can make, especially if you're posting every day and you're posting on multiple platforms, whether you're on Instagram, Facebook, if you're on Snapchat, if you're on all these other places where you can actually leave your mark. You want to include your .com website. It's so important. And it's so easily forgotten because we're so anxious to just post whatever we're trying to post at that time. We forget, I should put my website in there. So just the most basic idea, share your URL, put it on emails, put it on correspondence emails, put it on all your social media, just put it on your stickers. You got band stickers, put it on your stickers, maybe put it on your shirts, your merch, whatever the case. Just get it out there. That's the first step, because if people don't know that you have a website, they're not going to find it. And a lot of URLs these days, you have to get pretty tricky because you may not have the URL band name that you want. You have to get kind of creative. So if your band name has a kind of a tricky URL where you got a hyphen in there, or you have to put the state after the band name, I've seen all kinds of tricks. You need to make sure that you display that to your fans so they know where to go. Okay. So that would be the very first most obvious thing to do, is share your band URL. Okay. Let's move on to the second thing. Second thing you want to do is keep your website updated. Do things like blogs, videos, pictures. Keep it updated, because if you have a stagnant website, people won't have a reason to go check it out. If they've been to your website once and you're not updating it, most likely they're never going to come back. But having a updated, organic, lively website that gets, that you're posting blogs to, you're posting pictures to, and you're putting up your videos, and then you post that on social media, people will come check out your new content. It's like when you go to your favorite news site, and if there is no new news for days, why would you go to that site, right? Well, your website is exactly the same way. Keeping it updated with a great way to do it is what I like to do, is just do some blogs. Do a blog update. Type a quick update on what you're up to, maybe add a couple pictures in there, and then take that URL and post it on social media and say, hey, everybody, we got a new blog, go check it out. And the people your fans and people who want to know more about you are going to go there. They'll click on that link and they'll go to your website because there's something new on it. Don't just wait for new music to come around, because that could take a while. It takes a while, right? Post videos to YouTube and put those YouTube links on your website. Anything to kind of keep it moving, keep it fresh, keep it alive in the minds of your fans that, hey, our website's got a lot of cool stuff on it. Check it out. I think a lot of the mistakes that we fall into as artists is that we have a website up and we don't update it, and it just becomes stagnant. I mean, the same things are on there from 2-3 years ago, and there's been no updates. So updating your website is super crucial. It makes fans feel like you care about wanting to tell them more, wanting to share them more, and it makes you look like you're on top of it. Fans get excited about that kind of stuff. So make sure you update your website, keep it fresh. Not only is it great for your fans, but it is great for SEO. I don't know if you've ever heard the term before, but SEO stands for search engine optimization. And this is an algorithm that search engines like Google, like Yahoo, use to find your website when someone searches. If you keep up your site updated and fresh, it'll have more chances of arriving at the top of the line when people search for anything that has anything to do with your band name or anything to do with you. You have better chances of arriving at the top of their search results. If you're buried down on the 100th page, you most likely won't be found. But these search engines love fresh content. They love when content is new. They love sites that are vibrant. They love sites that have great, meaningful content. And your band website, your artist website, can do the same thing. It's just like if you had a business. Businesses have blogs and stuff like that. They do that so their website stays fresh. And you guys can do the same thing. And it'll make it a lot easier for your fans to find you and search engines to find you, okay? I hope I gave enough reasons as to why you should keep your website updated. So we're gonna stop right there, and we'll move on to the next one. Okay, another way that you can get people to your website to check out your stuff is do a giveaway. How about you give away a shirt for the first 50 people that sign up for your newsletter on your website? And then on your newsletter page, put something like, hey, check out this content, check out this blog we just did. Do a giveaway, do a contest. And the only way that the person who wins can win is that they have to go to your website and sign up for your newsletter, something like that, something of that sort. People love incentives. People love surprises. They love to be enticed into doing certain things. And maybe giving away like a t-shirt or a hat or something like that is really cool for them. There's just, the ideas for giveaways are endless, and you can get really creative with them. The only thing is with giveaways, you have to stay on top of it. In other words, you got to keep hitting it every day. Say you're going to do a giveaway. The first 50 people that sign up in the next 24 hours or the next 2 days will get a free t-shirt. If you make an offer like that, make sure you follow through with it all the way to the end to where you actually send out the prize. It's easy to kind of slack and fall behind and kind of just not be excited about it. But if you want people to get to your website, you got to be excited about the offer that you're giving them. That's just the way it works. People love to get excited about these things. And even though you already have fans, or if you do have fans, you still want to treat them and get them excited about these things so that they do trips to your website. They sign up for your newsletter, which is super, super important, by the way. But get them thinking about you. Get them thinking about, wow, these guys, this artist, this band, they're really doing some cool stuff. Like they're giving away a t-shirt. If I just got to go to the website and sign up, easy peasy. That is just a great way to get people excited. You can you can post that on social media, advertise it, and say, hey, got this free giveaway going on. So giving away, do a prize giveaway. Only way they can get it is go to your website. That is another great way to get more traffic to your .com space on the internet. Okay. And the last one we're going to talk about today is we are going to talk about running paid advertising ads to your website. How about that? This, I know you may be rolling your eyes and going, man, I don't want to pay for advertising. I don't want to do that. I get it. The magical thing about paid advertising, and when I talk about paid advertising, I mean running ads on, say, Facebook, okay, that lead to your website. You can make a big splash and reach a lot of people for a little amount of money. You will be surprised at how many people you can actually reach and the diversity of the audiences that you can create to target to come to your website is very powerful in this day and age. You may have already tried running ads. If you have some experience with running Facebook ads, that's awesome. I hope that you weren't overwhelmed. I hope it made sense. because the the ads interface that Facebook uses can be overwhelming, but the reality is it's super powerful. And if you check it out, you're going to be blown away by the amount of options you have for paid advertising. So I did an earlier podcast last year, and I talked about, you can check out how much money should you spending on your advertising, and it's less than you probably think it will be. It is going to be a lot less. You can check out that podcast where I talk about it, and you won't have to spend a lot of money to get a good amount of eyes on your website. So you go to Facebook, you run an ad, put a picture of the band, put a picture of you as an artist, put your .com URL name. You can make the ad a link. Whatever you do, make sure that it points to your website, excuse me, and gets the traffic over to your website. You can post a video and have it linked to your website. Anything that where you're paying for advertising and pointing it back to your website, it is more effective than you might think, and you're going to get a lot of eyes to your content, to your website, that you would probably not get a chance to, because you can advertise and shoot ads out to what we call cold audiences. And cold audiences are people that have no idea who you are. They're basically strangers, but they may live close in your city, and it's an opportunity for you to reach a new crowd, people who don't know who you are. And that's really important when you're trying to promote your music and your band and your website, not just engaging with the fans that you currently have, but also engaging in new fans or finding new fans. That's super, super important. So look into paid advertising. I'll do some more podcasts on paid advertising because it's such a powerful platform, and you can get away with a lot for just a little amount of money, less than you would think, as I mentioned before. Okay, so there we have the 4 ways that you can get more traffic to your website. I also wanted to add as a side note on here, if you do have your own website, good for you, but make sure that you get your Google Analytics locked into your website. And what is that? It's a free service from Google where you register your website with Google, and what it does is it's not that it'll guarantee that you're going to come up on your search engine. What it does is it's statistics about how much traffic is actually coming to your website every day, every hour, how many new sessions, how many unique sessions, in other words, how many new people have come to your website every day. It's very powerful, and I will definitely be doing another podcast on how great Google Analytics is. I can't tell you enough about it. But if you get a chance to look into it, and it basically will break down everything and tell you exactly what you need to know when it comes to having people come to your website. Okay? So that's it for today's podcast. I really appreciate you guys swinging by. I hope that you found this valuable. Websites are a big deal. They are still a core, the centerpiece of what every artist should have. So hopefully you guys have one or are working on putting up a website. And now you have some tips and ideas on how to get actual eyes on your website. It's a busy world out there on the internet. There's a lot of competition. So you need any advice you can get that I find out that you can share with me, please feel free on my Facebook page. Send me an email. I'd love to hear what you say and what works for you guys as well. And I can share with everybody else. All right, guys? Till the next podcast episode, peace and love. I am out.